Here we are in section 1-3 with the solutions to number 6 through 22. Here we've got all the rules that were listed in the section. Use the commutative properties. So commutative is to switch order of addition and multiplication. So anytime we've got a plus sign or a times sign, we can switch things in their order and rewrite each expression. So here we've got 3 plus x. We can rewrite it as x plus 3. Here we've got 27 times 36, that's 36 times 27. Yeah, we could compute that and get it what they actually equal, but if we do it in either order, that's the purpose of the commutative properties, is that it doesn't actually matter the order, left to right or right to left, if you're only doing multiplication or only doing addition. Next one, x times 15, 15 times x. And we really don't need that dot in the middle to signify it's 15 times x. 9, 17x minus 23. Ooh, look at this. That's a subtraction sign. So if we consider that minus sign stuck to this 23, we can rewrite it as 17x plus a negative 23y, like that. Now it's a plus sign, and so we can switch direction, right? Negative 23y plus 17x. And this is what's going to be most efficient in the future. Being able to move these terms around in any order, because we're going to consider that as a negative 23 and it's all addition, that will allow us to do some simplification later on in the assignment. Great. All right, moving on to the next one. Use the associative properties. Associative properties, they move parentheses. So again, if you only have addition, only have multiplication, you can move the parentheses. Currently they're there, we can move them to there. So it can go 5 plus 2t plus 7p. Here, this is multiplication. We can move it, they're currently around the 5 and the 3x. We can move them like that. And it could be 5 times 3 in parentheses times x. That's 15x again. And notice how the parentheses didn't make much of a difference if we were doing all multiplication or all addition. Again, we can do it in any order, and that's pretty cool. All right, next one, number 12, says create each fraction with a denominator of 15x. So we have to times by something, so we get a 15x on the bottom. Well, here it looks like we've got a 5x, so we need to times by 3, and that will make a 12 over 15x. Okay, what about this one? We need to times it by something, so we get a 15x on the bottom. And with a fraction, we can times by x and x. So we get a 7x over 15x. Notice that we have unsimplified it. We could simplify it back by canceling those x's out to get 7/15. Or in this case, we could simplify this one back to 4 over 5x. So we're actually like building up the denominator like we did with fractions when we added them with common denominators. And here we've got a times by something. So we get 15x on the bottom. Let's put this 15x right here on the bottom. So we've got a times by, looks like a 5x. 3 times 5 will give us 15, and then the x will go along. So we get a negative 10x over 15x. There we have it. All right, down on the next one, we have find the additive inverses. So the opposites when you're adding, and that's really what we call them, opposites. So opposite of 7 is negative 7. Opposite of negative 4 is positive 4. Opposite of negative 7/3 is positive 7/3. And opposite of 0.05 is negative 0.05. And that's really all additive inverses do. What would we add to these numbers to cause them to be eliminated completely? All right, what's the next one? Find the multiplicative inverses of each number. Now, multiplicative inverses, that's not just opposites, that's doing the opposite with regard to multiplication. And we call these guys reciprocals. 7 would be 1 over 7. So we flip it on top of each other, on top of itself. So it used to be a 7 over 1, now we flip it, it's 1 over 7. Notice if we times these two guys, the 7 and the 7 will cancel. Technically, we have two different kinds of canceling. When you put additive inverses together, they add to 0. multiplicative inverses multiply to 1, which when you're multiplying is invisible. And so there are two different kinds of things we actually mean when we say, oh, that cancels. -4 reciprocal is -1/4. Number 21, -7/3, flip it over and it's -3/7. Notice it doesn't change sign. Like up here, it changed sign to the negative or the positive, but it doesn't down here in these guys. And then this one, this is 1/0.05. That's not really simplified. So let's plug that into your calculator and you get the number 20. So yeah, if you took 20 times 0.05, you get 1. And that's what a multiplicative inverse is about.